Hi, welcome to the Coaching Game. I'm Laurie Lawson, and tonight my guest is a longtime friend and, cohort on the board of directors of ICF NYC and another producer here at MNN. We've just been hanging around for a long time, so I'm thrilled you're on my show, Terry Yoffe.
Thank you, Laurie. I am thrilled to be here and thrilled to be sitting in a different capacity tonight.
But you still have to pull your weight, okay?
Right, yes. than my Coach World TV show where I do the interviewing.
Yes.
So
well, we're going to share.
Roles. Okay.
And we decided we're so sophisticated, we're just going to wing it.
Okay, we're going to share.
As you know, the Coaching Game is based on the marvelous Points of View, which is a great coaching tool that has 65 cards. And the card that I usually let my guests choose their cards, on air or off. So Terry decided she wanted to choose the Journey card. And I'll bet there's a few stories behind that. So that's what we're going to be working on today is the Journey. So tell us, Terry, why did you choose the Journey card?
You know, I went through, I also have a Points of View toolkit. And I love it. And actually what I had been doing was every day taking another card and looking at what it said and the questions and thinking, how can I apply this card to my life? And it's great. But when I started looking through the cards and thinking, what do I want to talk about today? Somehow this really spoke to me because we're all on a journey.
Yeah.
It's not just, the journey of, I'm going to see a friend or I'm going to do this. It's a journey of life. And it just called me. It really did. And when I read the little story and some of the questions, I thought, this was it. This is what I wanted to talk about.
What she's referring to is each card has not only the lovely photography, but it also has a story. It has coaching questions and it has quotes. So I don't know, do we want to read the story? The story's kind of cool.
We could talk about it in kind of a nutshell.
Okay, all right.
So
what appealed to you about the story?
It was about a village elder that lived in a monastery, I think.
Yes.
And he lived a very Spartan life. Did his thing. His room was very simple. And a tourist found his way into the monastery and found him in his room and introduced himself and looked around and kind of judged his very Spartan room, which we all do, judgment, with the little bed and the chairs and the mat. And he said to him, "Where are your possessions?" And the elder said to him, "Where are your possessions?" And the tourist said, "Well, I'm a visitor. I'm just passing through." And the village elder said, "Aren't we all passing through?" So that really stopped me in my tracks, because the truth is we are all passing through. And I was telling Laurie that for me, my perspective is people that are village elders, if you will.
I think she just called us old, but that's okay.
No, I said village elder. I did not say old.
Okay, all right.
It's the wisdom that they have. It's their non-attachment. And I think that there's a lot of people that walk this earth that you would never know that that's who they are. They could be from the outside, they could look like they have and I'll take myself, I'm very aware of my clothes and how I look and my house and my jewelry and all of that. So that's a perspective that I portray. However, on my inner self, I truly believe I'm a village elder, that as much as I love all of it, I'm not attached to it.
Wow, that's nice.
I've done spiritual retreats, so I understand the world, and people would never look at me and think, when I tell them I've done they look, oh, huh? You you know, they have a picture or a judgment of how somebody should look.
Definitely.
So,
and that's the old judge the book by the cover.
Right,
but
right,
and we
exactly.
we're at fault of that. We get our hair done, we get our nails done. We want to
I'm
look
there
good,
for
you
all
know.
of that.
Yeah.
And that's how I am in the world, because that's my journey, part of my journey. And I think that no matter what we do in life, it's always a journey. Whether somebody looks at it and goes, "Oh my God, you're in a raft in these turbulent waters. How could that be a journey?" And, you know, it's like, hold on for dear life.
I just want to find the land.
Right, exactly.
I want
or
out
I
of the
want
water.
the smooth
Yes.
waters.
Yeah.
And that's a journey, as well as when things are smooth is a journey. So I look at everything, when I saw the card, as, wow, life is a journey.
Are you a practicing journey person, or is that a philosophy?
You know, it's a philosophy. I totally practice and understand when I'm in the rough waters and I'm flailing about.
Right.
I might not see the perspective, but when you kind of get out of it and you can look back, oh, okay, what did I learn? What was the journey for me there?
Yeah.
You know.
I think I know. My tagline, for gosh sake, is life is a journey, not a destination.
Right,
Enjoy the
right,
trip.
right.
And,
I know that.
But I don't. I mean, I do in retrospect like
right,
you. It's like,
right.
but I really would so love to learn to say, okay, and I think we were both talking about being an overwhelm. It's just like we schedule so many things, and then we have to pull back and go, I can't do this. And it's like right now my goal is to just get through the day and get everything that I promised to do done. Whereas, and I've already said, you've heard me say it a few times on this show and other places, I'm old enough that I want to just have fun with what I'm doing. I don't want to do things that are going to torture me.
yeah,
I've done
right,
that.
right,
Paid my dues.
right.
So what I'm doing is fun, but it's like I feel like I'm really not enjoying the journey right now. It's like I'm just really keeping my head above water, to use the water analogy again.
But yeah, and I get the same way.
Yeah.
You know, I think as you get older, you want to have more fun. You know, but
I hope it's not now. When?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
And to look at things is okay. When you're in a situation that's not fun, you know, okay. I'm not saying everything has to be fun, but what do you learn? What do you grow? I think that's the journey for me. Is there's never, you know, what's the destination? I think when you die, that's the destination.
When you get there,
right,
it's like, uh-oh.
Right, exactly. But
time up.
Until then, I've always been a learner. I always have been, whether consciously or unconsciously, it's been always learning, always observing, always seeing what can I do different, how can I improve. I don't ever say I'm perfect. You know, I've reached the apex of who I am.
Now I can relax.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
how has that helped you as a coach? How has that helped you, and how has it helped your clients as a coach?
I think a lot has helped me as a coach. One, not having a smooth sailing background, having a lot of Mount Everests to climb, if you will. I'm very empathetic to my clients' situations, their behaviors, where are they, where do they want to go, because I think I've experienced so much of that in my own background and path.
Now, did you get yourself, did you have assistants? I mean, I know when I was coming up, there were no such thing as coaches, maybe football coaches. Did you do this on your own?
No, there were therapists.
Right, that's true, right.
you know.
So they've been around for a while.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. So
Okay,
I
yeah.
did that for a very long time, and that really helped me. Really
it's
helped
introspective.
me. Right,
and
introspective,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of other things. I mean, I did EST.
Me too.
I've done.
But I didn't get it. Did you get it? I never got it.
Yeah.
It was like everybody
I
else
did
was
it
getting
a
it.
long
I go, I
time
don't
ago.
get it.
I've done a lot of other life-altering situations. I was telling Laurie I went on a Buddhist retreat a long time ago. Here I was, a New York City person, going off into the San Cristobal Mountains, you know, just with nothing. I mean, just myself.
Yeah.
And that was quite an experience. And, you know, when you think about it, maybe being in it was very uncomfortable for me. But coming out of it, you know, it's like until you get to the top of the mountain, you don't get to see what's going on. You can't see from the bottom of the mountain.
Right.
Once you're able to kind of get to the top of it and look out and see, then you can come down with a different perspective.
Yeah. Is it worth the climb? I guess.
I don't know.
But you won't know till you get there.
Right,
so
exactly.
It's interesting you use the word comfortable, because I think that's part of my overwhelmed demon. It's like if I have a few minutes, it's like, oh my gosh, what should I be doing? What am I neglecting? What have I forgotten? And I get, so it's like, okay, so rather than have that, it's like, let me just schedule everything. Okay, now I have 2 minutes, you know, in here. And it's, so I have to learn to be more comfortable with myself. I don't know if I could do a week of what you did.
It was just being.
Yeah.
It was the beingness. It wasn't the doing, and it wasn't the having. There was nothing to have, for sure. Up in the mountains, sleeping on the, you know, a slab on the bus, which I was actually grateful for, because those that slept in a tent got rained on.
Okay.
So
you were in the deluxe room. Yeah.
It was very primitive, very. And they got you up at 4:30. You had to meditate, and then you had breakfast, and it was all silent. You couldn't talk to anybody. You just walked. And at night, the teachers spoke.
But you didn't.
No, unless if you had a question, you could
ask,
but that was it.
Yeah.
So it was about nothingness, really nothingness, doing nothing.
What did you learn from that?
I learned that what an idiot I was to have done it.
To learn to read more before
right,
you book the ticket. Yes.
Right. However, I was meant to be there.
Wow,
it was
that's cool.
very eye-opening to just the being of life, being with people, connecting without the usual, oh, hello, how are you, my name is, when you go to a
and
networking.
making an impression.
Right, making an impression and using silly verbiage to get to know someone. You connected on a much deeper level. And I got to see the strength I had and the perseverance.
Wow.
And because this was not for everyone. I mean, it was primitive, very primitive. But you learn to go with the flow. I mean, I did, and I'm pretty, as much as I love all the comforts, I have been places where I've had to adapt. Whether it's sleeping places, whether it's whatever.
Yeah.
You know, as much as I have my anchor of my New York City apartment and everything I have learned that I can adapt, that when I get pushed to the edge of the, get pushed to the corner, the capacity to have a door open is there.
To find the door. Some people can't even find the door.
Well,
so
it's in within yourself, I think, in a lot. You get into situations that you learn to work with and figure out.
What tricks do you have? Do you? Because
Oh, God.
What tricks do you have to remind yourself of the journey? I think we both have retrospect down. It's like, okay, afterwards we can see, oh, I got it. I would love to know something to slow me down and say, okay, enjoy this now while you can.
I'm a lot, even though I've spent my whole life in the public eye, I'm really an introvert. And
really?
Yes, hard to believe, but it's true.
It is.
But I love being home and just doing nothing. I could do that a lot. It's like my refuge. I gain a lot of strength from that. I don't need to be out in the world so much. I mean, I'm out enough. But I just think, what am I missing, really?
Yeah.
You know, it's just a habit that to calm down and I try every night to put my device away at 9 o'clock at night.
Wow.
Plug it in, and I go and I leave it unless I get up at 2 in the morning, and then I'll go to look at it. But
that I won't do.
Yeah,
but
so
last thing I do
up,
at night, and the first thing I do in the morning is like, oh my God, what did I miss? You know, or what should I be doing?
I don't feel guilty.
Good.
About
good.
Doing things.
Well, you know what? Let's go with some of these questions.
Yeah.
I love these.
Yeah.
It's like, what am I searching for on my way, on my journey?
Right.
The truth or happiness? That is such an easy answer for me. What is it for you?
I think it's truth.
I think mine is happiness. Doesn't mean we can't go the same path. It's just we'll be looking at different things.
Truth is just truth. And some of what gets us to truth isn't always being in happy situations.
In fact, I think you're absolutely right, and I think perhaps the only way there's a philosopher who says something about all action stems from negativity, because if you're in happiness, who's going to move? You'd be crazy to get out of it. It's like, oh, I'm so happy, I'm leaving.
Well,
but negativity sort of forces the hand, you know?
You know, they're all states of being.
Yes.
And, Khalil Gibran, you don't have one without the other.
Right.
You know, you can't experience true joy if you don't experience the opposite.
Absolutely.
What is happiness anyway?
I don't know. And it's funny, it's interesting because I'm reading the question and it's, what am I searching for? And am I searching for happiness, or I don't know if I'm really searching for it, but it's like, I know, it's funny, I know I'm not searching for the truth. I'm a doer, I'm not a thinker. You ask me to think and my brain goes blank. It's like, I gotta think. And that's why NLP drives me crazy. You're thinking about how you're thinking. Oh my God, I can't do it. I know you did, and you're searching for the truth.
But truth is also an elusive word. Everyone's truth is different.
That's true. So it's your truth.
Right. It's what's, Werner Erhard of Est said something that the truth will set you free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Rick Tamlin. Rick Tamlin, he does the bigger game. It's his tagline.
And
it's all made up.
And he's going to be doing it here in September.
Right, in September at ICF NYC.
Yes.
It's all made up. Mm-hmm. How our life is all made up. How do we want to make it up?
Exactly. You're the creator.
Right, exactly. So do you want to create a movie that's fabulous and great, or do you want to create a doomsday black and white?
Drama or comedy, or that's interesting. Yeah, I'm definitely going to try to make his workshop. We've been talking about Rick Tamlin from Terry discovered him, and
I did his bigger game.
Yeah.
So I think everyone's got their own truth. I think truth is what's
a great point.
important to me. Mm-hmm. Your truth would be very different than my truth.
Absolutely. And that, as coaches, is the number one thing that we have to remember, too. It's like when you're with a client, you go, oh, my God, the solution is this. And it's like, that's my solution. That might not be your solution.
Right.
So you got to let them struggle. And that I always say the solution is in the struggle.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And as coaches, clients are on their journey, and we're on our journey.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get the client that mirrors your journey.
I always find that's why this is the best profession in the world, because not only do you get to help other people and get paid for it, but you can't help but coach yourself while you're in there. Because it's like, oh my gosh, I'm doing that too. Why am I I can see where she's going with that.
It's the journey never ends.
No.
And I think if I can look at life as a journey, no matter where on the river I am, whether I'm in the calm waters that I can look out and be peaceful and calm,
Right.
or I'm in the turbulent waters where I have to learn how to navigate, which is where the learning comes from. If you're in if you're in the comfort zone of a boat that just goes along, there's no learning. It's beautiful and it's peaceful, but there's nothing there. It's only when we test ourselves by being in, and metaphorically, challenging waters, that we learn who we are. What kind of strengths do we need to get us through these challenging waters, or whatever it represents?
There's an interesting question, the points of view, and it's how can I enjoy my journey even though the path is difficult? And that's how can you do that?
I guess it's holding everything in the same container.
Explain that.
Meaning the container is not separating. Meaning that you've got
a little bit
your
of joy
life
here, a little bit
right. You've got everything in your container of life.
Right.
And there's the difficult, and there's the happy, and there's the sad, and there's the this. The Zen philosophy is not to be attached to any of it.
Right.
That's their truth.
So much easier said than
Right.
done.
That trying to stay detached from, yes, happiness is there and it's there and you're in it, but you're detached from it. You have whatever is going on, but you know it. Whatever the behavior is, the obstacles, whatever the situation is, to not be in it, but to be detached from it. I mean, that's where true, I'm certainly not there, but that's the Zen philosophy, is that's where true peace comes in, that no matter where you are, you're detached. It's there, but you're sitting back, seeing it and observing it, but detached.
Do you think that limits enjoyment now?
I don't know. I haven't reached it. I don't think
you
I
do,
could
let me
answer.
know.
I don't think I could answer it. I don't know. Again, you're looking at a word. Would you say enjoyment?
Yeah.
I don't. I
mean,
think
if you detach,
life,
can you still have fun? I don't know. I guess you can.
it's just. I think the definition of being at peace with yourself, that allowing everything to be part of that journey and not being attached to it, to be happy, and that true happiness, I think, is when you can be detached.
It's a goal.
Anyway,
it's a goal.
We can
know
go
that.
on and on and on, and that's just different
it's,
philosophies.
Well, then this is like a personal question. When did your personal journey truly begin?
I would probably guess when I was very young, although I didn't know it. I didn't know it. I think it really came to light when I began therapy, and I started doing EST and other things, and meditation. I went and I did TM. So I think when all of those things came together, I became aware of what was probably in the reseeds for so long. I wouldn't have been able to label it or know it.
Right.
But I think from being a child, I knew that there was something not right in my upbringing.
I knew there was more. I was raised in a small town. It's like, I know there's more out there. There's got to be. And that's interesting. I think my personal journey began when I was like 28 and I moved to New York City. It was like, okay, I finished taking care of everybody in my family. I had done everything a small town could. I bought a house, I got married, I got divorced, the whole thing. And it was like, okay, this is uncharted territory. I've done all the stuff. I graduated college, did all the stuff I'm supposed to do. Now I'm going to, I want to go to New York City. I want to see what's there. And it was up and down for sure. But I think that was a late start. But, at least I got started. So
I think for me, I also was in a relationship, and then it ended, and I had lived at home and worked. And then I moved into the city, and that, I think, was the start of the beginning of freedom for me,
Right.
whatever I had to do on that path
Exactly,
to grow up.
yeah. Freedom and survival.
Yeah.
This city is, and I'll say it 100 times, this city is an amazing teacher. It's like you learn it fast. It
Absolutely.
continues all the time.
Absolutely.
Not small town doesn't offer that awful. That offers, stuff with families and churches and stuff like that. But it's like this city will just take you on a ride, and if you're willing to go, it's fascinating.
And that was another journey.
Yes.
Living in New York and navigating and figuring it out, and living on my own.
Making all the
Right,
mistakes
yeah,
and
exactly,
figuring
exactly,
out what was wrong.
exactly.
So where do you see your journey
Oh, gosh.
coming on up? I guess
don't
it's
know.
a goals kind of. What are the
don't,
goals? But then if you set a
I don't
goal,
know.
are you on a journey? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that a journey is just a journey. I think
It is. It's going to be there whether you're
right,
on
right,
whether you know
right,
you're on it
right,
or not.
Exactly.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
And for me, I think at this point, I want to go on more vacations. I want to enjoy myself. I'm building my business. I'm working on figuring out with someone whole social media. She's putting it in place for me.
Oh,
and
cool.
Because I've done
Okay.
nothing, and I just feel there's something else inside of me that's not come out yet. So
You haven't sung all your music
yeah,
yet.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. So in a way, I don't know, and maybe that's okay. One of the things that I did, which everyone laughs at, is I went into the store and I bought a girl's magic wand. You know those magic wands?
Okay.
And I put my picture on it, and every morning and every night I wave my wand.
Do you really?
I do. I have it there.
Okay.
It's like, what do I want? It's like a meditation, but
I like
what do
that.
I want? What's there? What can I look forward to? It's kind of a symbol of, I mean,
A
it's
reminder.
very childish.
But, I love it. Or I
I-
need something like that to just go, wait a minute, this is my game. I can play it any way I want.
Exactly. And you just
Yeah.
wave it. And
just,
I have it there.
Okay, I like that.
so-
Yeah, I love that.
So
Wow.
that's maybe my compass or my GPS, if you will.
Yes, as unsophisticated as it may be, a plastic
Right.
wand with a picture on it, but
Right,
that's
right.
okay.
Nothing elaborate. Nothing
Whatever works,
elaborate.
whatever will slow you down and remind you that it's like, okay, it's cool to have goals, and God knows I have so many.
Yeah, we all do.
But it's like, it's to stop and not smell the roses, to stop and enjoy where you are right this very minute,
Right.
no matter what that is. So.
Very few do today when you think about
It's impossible to get disconnected, and then there's always
unplugged
something.
and so much takes our attention away, our devices, our laptops, our tablets.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
So I am so appreciative that you stopped and came on this
Oh
show.
my God, I'm so thrilled. I really
it's-
wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, we both
you know,
have an appreciation for
right.
points of view. I
Right.
have an appreciation for you
Oh, thank
particularly.
you.
So
Me
I'm
for
going to
you.
tell you to enjoy the journey, and thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
being on the
Thank
coaching
you.
game.
Thank you.
Thanks.